Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the webinar on Candy's resource type combination. My name is Mbeki Ndlela. I work as a technical consultant here at the RIB CCS offices in Centurion, a city in the Gauteng province of South Africa. It is my pleasure to present this webinar to you. Today, I will be discussing the Candy's resource type combinations as it's used in Candy pricing documents and reports. Due to the large number of people logged into this webinar today, we will not be able to answer any questions. However, you are more than welcome to submit your questions during the session using the provided function on the screen. At the end of this webinar, we will revisit these questions individually and send the answers to everybody that registered for this webinar via email. Please also note that the webinar will be recorded, which means a link will be available for downloads. It is also worth noting that there is a webinar once a month on various Candy topics. So even if you are unable to attend the webinar at the given time frame, please do register for one, as this will entitle you to receiving a recorded copy of that webinar. We will now get started with our webinar. So, on our agenda today is the Candy's resource type combinations, and under that we will look at these following topics. Firstly, I will explain what the resource type combinations is, and it's used as a function in Candy. I will then show you how to define these resource types combinations. After defining them, we will then look at the actual combinations and how to combine resource types. We will look at how to customize documents to view rates and amounts in the combinations, which will be our fourth topic. And we will finish off with some reporting. So, before we get into what the resource type combinations is, let's first understand the pricing process used in Candy. In Candy estimating, we make use of price code worksheets, which allows for a first principle pricing method. In these worksheets, different kinds of resources are pulled in from a resource list and are used to derive a unit rate. We can use simple and complex resources. The simple resource or simple resources are the lowest level of the resource structure, and they are things that you can buy or hire, like stone, cement, labor, and equipment. So every resource or every simple resource must be classified by one of 9 types, typically labor, material, plant, and so on. Now, these types or these resource types are what we want to focus on today and see how they in turn can also be combined in their resource type combination columns. So simply put, resource type combinations can be explained as the grouping and displaying of relevant columns used for splitting estimating rates and amounts into fewer columns, for example, supply and install columns. It provides an easy, practical, and accurate reporting as well. This unique function in Candy is designed to help you group different resource types together under newly defined combination columns in bill documents as well as in reports. To get a clearer picture of this, I have prepared a bill of quantity in Candy that's been priced from first principles, which simply means that I have priced all the bill items in this bill that you'll see now using my resources in a worksheet. And the resources in use were also classified or categorized under their different resource types. So what you're looking at right now are my worksheet Okay, and as soon as I close this and go to my resources in my resource list, you'll see that I have all of the resources that have been used. And the T column, I'll just open it up a little bit. You'll see that that is my resource type column. Now, to show you the list of all the resource types that I have created, I can just simply double click on any of the resource code or resource type code, and it will list for me the resource types defined for this job. I will now close all the documents. And then I'll quickly take you to where you would go to define your resource types. I have now simply accessed my definitions and settings, as you can see there at the top. And in here, under heading number 1, I have trades and I have resource types. Okay, so you can see that my 1.2 resource types have a number of resource types that I have already defined. You can define a total of 9 resource types. They are non-numeric, meaning you can only use lowercase or uppercase alphabetical characters. Now, as mentioned before, the resource types are used to categorize the different simple resources, but they can also help us split rates in a document. To understand this, I will first show you the priced bill in a trade summary display. I'll close this and then I'll go to my trade total summary display. And here you can see the trades in the first column. And the second column shows me my amounts, which can be viewed in net, gross, as well as selling. And all the other columns from here to my right is the split of the amounts using the resource types. So you can see that I have labor, plant, material, temporary materials, overheads, provisional sums, and so forth. I will now show you this similar layout of this split resources in a different document or in different documents. So to do that, I'll close this document and then I'll access my documents manager. Now, as you can see, I have my standard BOQ and I have some customized documents to show the rate split as per our defined resource types. I have also customized a document where I will later show you how the resource type can be combined. But first, let us access my standard BOQ. And I want to show you the standard layout of that document. So this is how my standard bill of quantities layout would look like without any customizing. So you can see that I have my bill description, unit column, bill quantity, and then I have these essential 2 columns where I can actually work out the rate, and the net amount will be automatically calculated for me. All right. So now if I were to swap documents to show you how the net split rate looks like, there, remember, I have created a number of documents. There is my bill of quantities with my net split rate. I'm quickly going to click on that. And now, as you can see, these are the added columns as per the defined resource types. So I have my labor, plant, material, all the way to my labor only subcontractor. I'm going to click on OK here, and then you can see that the layout is as how I've defined my resource types. So after defining my resource types, all I did was to just customize this document Okay, this is my column layout. And in here, all I did was just to add my 8.1. So if you go and look under your available columns, you'll see that heading number 8 is the split rates and amounts. If I open that up, there is my 8.1, which is my net split rate column. So the column layout that you saw on the document has been arranged accordingly to this column layout together with my resource types that I've created earlier. Okay. So now, how do we combine them? How do we combine these resource types? That is really the essence of our webinar today. So to answer that question, let us quickly see where our resource combination columns are created or defined. I will once again clean all the documents that I see on the screen, and then I will go back to my definitions and settings, and this time around I will access 4.8 resource combinations under resource related definitions header or heading. Now the screen on my right shows me two sections. Okay. Here I have a sieve where I can create my combination columns, the number of those columns, and then their descriptions. And the further section lists for me the resource types currently defined and used in this BOQ. So the logic here is, if I need to combine these defined resource types into, say, two columns of supply and install, for instance, I can create two new columns called supply and install. And then I will then make my column 1, as you can see, my supply column, and then the second one, or my other column, I can then call it the install column. All right, which will be my heading 2. So it will be my heading 1 and my heading 2. I will now go and look at my column number. What this is a pick list or a drop down selection to allocate my resources to either supply or install, which are my two defined resource combination columns. Let's say, for instance, I want labor, plant, and maybe labor only subcontractor to be my my install. All right, I will then change this accordingly. So my labor will fall under heading number 2, which is the installation, and then I'll also use my plant for installation. And for interest sake, I'll just also take my labor only subcontractor and use that for installation. And maybe for the rest, I'll just leave as supply. Okay. But if I didn't want to do that, I can also create another column and call it other. All right. And I can allocate items such as my overheads to that column and my provisional sums to that columns. Okay. But I'll just use the two that we already have. So I'm now going to click on OK. What we can now do, it is to customize a document. I'm going to go to my documents manager, and then as I mentioned earlier, that I've already customized a document that will display this new layout. Okay, but I'll just open it so to show you the column layouts. I'm going to click on customize, and then you'll see that I'm going to close this, go to heading number 17, resource type combinations. Heading number 17 give you several columns that you can choose from and create the layout that you need. You can show your net rates and amounts combinations. You can also show your gross rates and amounts combination. You can also show your selling rates and amounts combination. And then all I did here was just to bring in 17.1, of which is my net rate combination. I will then now click on OK. And I will access my my resource combo document. And there we have it. I have combined all of my resource types into these net combo rates. Okay, so it is supply and install. And the difference between the document that we previewed earlier, I'll quickly go to the document. Of which is my net split. Okay. You can see that here we have a number of these columns, okay, under my net split rate column. And then those are actually the resource types that we wanted to combine into the net combo rates that you see now here. So that is how we can combine the resource types and display that layout using different columns in Candy or different documents in Candy. You would also want to see if it is possible to report on the combined resource types. And the answer to that is yes, you can. I will now access my report manager. I'm going to clean everything that is on my screen, and I'm going to go to my report manager. And you'll quickly see that I've actually prepared some reports to show you the combination, how it works on a report level. Now, before I can access any of these reports, I just quickly want to show you how I've customized them and where you need to go to do the same. I can simply duplicate any standard report and access a report customization. I'll then go to my columns tab to add and remove columns. Now you'll see that here also you can also access the split rates and amounts, okay, and you can bring in, for instance, I would pick 8.1, of which is my net split rate, and then I'm going to click on OK. I'm going to click on OK again here. And then even though I haven't renamed it, but we know that it is a copy of the original or the standard continuous listing bill net values. So the copy is the one that we've customized now, and I'm just quickly going to preview it. Now you can see that I have my net rates and amounts. And I've also brought in now one column that gives me the split of my net rates. Okay, click on escape there. I will now show you the column layout that I've selected for the resource type combination reports. So I have one that I've done for the gross values and the net. So I'll just quickly go to customize reports on this one. Go to my columns tab. Click on add and remove columns. So you see now that this time for this I've actually gone to heading number 17, resource type combinations. Here too, again, you can see that you can actually choose from your net, gross, as well as selling rate combinations. Okay, what I've done was to bring across for this gross, okay, the gross bill amount combination. I can click on OK now, and click on OK on this page or on that screen, and click on preview report. And that is our gross bill combo amounts. You can see we've created the supply and install columns. All right. We can also have a look on the net values. My columns tab, add remove columns. You see that I've actually chosen 17.2 this time on this one. Net bill amounts combination. I can click on OK. OK on that screen. Click on preview. print anyways. And there I have my net bill combo amounts this time around. Now that was a quickest demonstration to show you how you can use Candy's resource types combination both in the document and as well as in reports. Now, to get more information and support of what we discussed today, you can go to your Candy support button and go to the help center. As you can see here, you can search for resource combination, and you will get a list of articles that can help you step by step in defining your resource combination columns in a document and on a report. This takes us to the end of our webinar for the month of September. Surely we can agree that Candy continues to be the leader in estimating and project control software. Please remember to email your local CCS office if you want to know more about the topics that we discussed today. We will keep you informed of the next webinar, and remember, if you are unable to join on the selected time, then please still register and you will receive the recording, which you can then watch in your own time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Till next webinar, goodbye for now.